What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami. Today we're doing a standalone server. You guys gave me some great feedback that you love to see lobbies like this or the community night, the competitive game I did, for example. I always thought the channel was more about giving tips than advice and just showing off gameplay because I have a lot of time in this game. But it's been really unreal, just awesome to see that you guys are invested in me as a person at this point as a creator now that you've followed for a little bit. And I do think that's the direction we're going to start going now that I've done a few more competitive games. Is the casual games will always be here. That's what this channel is all about, the casual experience. But we are going to switch it up sometimes, and I'm going to start trying to get into a clan potentially. And I've really dedicated myself in recent weeks with combat mechanics, getting those down with Lousy, one of the best duelists in the game. And then I've been working on TO positioning with Help Me Step Bo. They're both trainers in the Unyielding Discord I started. It's the most active Discord in Chivalry 2 at this point. If you'd like to join it, it'll be in the pinned comment. Just mute it because we don't shut up ever. This video I got off to a very slow start just because I was in voice chat. That's a little frustrating. If you guys see me die like 20 times in a game or more, it's because I'm in voice chat. I really have trouble doing two things at once. I can't play well and do it at the same time. So in this video, we're going to be doing a standalone, and I'm really dedicating myself to better positioning. That's going to be a theme in recent videos, and I found that really the longsword rewards the good positioning more than other weapons I play. So that may be a bit of a recurring theme if it's a sweaty lobby. Here I do make the mistake of getting in the center of everybody and just get killed, but we'll lock in after that. This video isn't a standalone, as I said, and it really is cool to see the improvements I'm making. I hadn't done the positioning coaching with Stepbo at the time yet, but Lousy had dueled with me a few times. So while it's all work in progress, it was good to see I topped this one by a significant amount. I'd like you guys to leave it up to see if we win or not, but it really has been all clicking, and that goes to show that if you don't blame the game and like look inwards and look at yourself and what you're doing wrong, you could always get better. This game is so in depth with its mechanics, there's always room to improve. My favorite thing about the standalones isn't even how sweaty it gets. It's mostly just seeing all these friend icons. It's good to play with your friends and alongside them. Little one of those bonus things. And here I'm not going to break this yet because I'm pretty confident we can do it at some point. And I want the map to not just end too quickly. I mean, it was a little much. And that did end up kind of being a mistake to not play for the win. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. Not really sure how I managed to survive that. That was a really close one. And this is our good friend Mofucka. Please excuse my language. He killed me 3 times at this point already. Now he's going to kill me with fists. The straight up disrespect, but love that dude. Very nice guy. I take back what I said about him being nice because I just saw he killed me again. So just forget about all that I just said that was nice about him. Now at this point is where we start to play a little better. We do a nice job of how we just sidestep that two-handed hammer. The jab is something I'm doing too much. It's kind of a bad habit I've picked up where I get hit and jab, and that's something that dueling will really help me figure out because Lousy was showing me a lot of bad habits I may have picked up in TO, and at this point we're down to 2.5 minutes, so I'm going to start thinking about trying to get that open. Now, because I'm so good at this game, I was thinking I should get the objective done, and I'd carry my team to victory. I'm like, you know what? I'm also the ultimate team player. I'll sacrifice a life, get some counters in, and use it to open that cage. Sure enough, I do it. Nice. So not good work here against the falchion user. I'm going to misjudge the range completely and kind of just fall for slash spam in general, and check that out. Not a good play there. Really should have went for a counter and not gone greedy with the stab. I really prefer the precision of the longsword and the stabs when you're on these bridge objectives as opposed to the war axe and wild slashes, things like that. And I do a nice stab drag there, hit a bunch of people, but getting too deep right afterwards and positioning in these standalones for a second will cost you. This is kind of what I'm saying here, picking and choosing the people who go too far in. We're kind of hiding behind our teammates a little bit, which doesn't feel great, but we're taking risks. We're not being too passive. Down to 2.5 minutes, and they're pushing us completely across the bridge. Now it's kind of a good time to start thinking about that other side, and the pickaxe is a weapon that gives me all kind of troubles with those feints. And as I said, they have that other side locked down pretty well, so it's time to start thinking over here. And after killing 2 archers, we have a free shot at this. And like I said, I'm so good at this game that I can just get objectives done all by myself. Definitely had nothing to do with them just leaving that right there and only being defended by 2 archers. And now our good friend Campbell is here, the guy we love teabagging. We're going to pass on this one, though, just because it was a little too easy and effortless. Down East Rockstar never gets a lot of kills, but he just gets that objective done. What a dude. He's one of my favorite people in this game and an engineer. He's one of the admins in my Discord now, again, which will be in the pinned comment. He's a field engineer, and he really proves that you don't have to be a straight killer at combat to really be helping your team the best you can. Now some stragglers are going to come through the gate. We're going to hold them off until a spawn wave can come back us up. We actually pick up a great sword as well, which is pretty funny. Nice few kills here, and as I've always said, ganking is not cheap. If you're killing someone from behind, you got rewarded for your good positioning and their bad positioning. And after doing the coaching with step bow, which you'll be starting to see the results of that in future videos, that is what I'm learning, is that positioning is just the most important skill in this game. Wrong time to go for style points here. We're going to try and jump over a battle axe swing. That's not going to work, and it may work in matchmaking, but not when there's that many good players like there are in this one. Try and call into this fire to get it, but you'll never guess what happens next. One of my most hated things is fire in this game. I really just, the way people throw it behind you is smart, but I don't know how I'm supposed to expect that unless I just see the person actually throw it. Long swords versus long swords, but that's going to be a tough 1vx matchup when they each have one. Really bad position here, but we're able to get out of there and survive for the moment. What's really cool is even though we didn't get the cage open ourselves, we did open up space for the rest of the team to go and get it. Good work by me, like always. Now let's try and get this bridge done. When all the players are good, this feels like it can be really hard to get done on the standalones. And we're trying to, again, like we said earlier on the bridge that was much smaller, pick and choose who is overextending, because we have a longsword. It's not something I could wildly slash with. So we're trying to be smart about our engagements and pick and choose people overextend, people who are out in the open, and it's working really well. So now we start to move up as a team. That team damage warning does always feel bad. I'm starting to think that may be a thing that I need to work on, especially if I'm going to be doing competitive at some point. That's never a good sign when you're getting the warning, and I'm even doing more as I continue to play. A lot of missed stabs as well, which I didn't realize in the moment. Not happy about that, but we get some backup here. Land some nice overheads, and those are a little underrated on this weapon as well. It's not always the stabs you want to be using. They're just so quick and hard to counter. I'm getting a little distracted at this point, so I start to drop down instead of heading towards the gate. But we got backup. You know West is always down for that. Now we see our good friend John Wick's Pencil. He's very active in the Discord as well. Very good spear player. He's a monster. It's also cool to see that I used to not like to shout people out, but viewers have told me that now that they kind of know me better and know the people I play with, that they enjoy seeing them in videos. So really just appreciate positive feedback, but don't be afraid for negative ones as well. I'm always trying to get better at making this content for you guys. Here our friend's in trouble. He's a little outnumbered. We're actually getting attacked by a piece of meat as well. Literal hand we're getting attacked by. And we're able to save our good friend the poser. Gonna be honest, I did think about kicking this person into the weld for a cool clip, but I didn't do it. This really didn't feel like I was playing too well, but when you see the final endgame stat line, it really does seem like that's staying alive more than I have been in the past. Just kind of makes you play better when you're not constantly going to the respawn screen. I'd love to hear what you guys thought if I did look in the zone, but honestly, it just didn't feel like it. It just felt like pure staying alive really does make such a big difference in these kind of lobbies. Listen to this banger. They don't get enough credit for the music in this game, especially the ending music for certain maps. I find to really fit the whole game and what's going on. I completely didn't drag my stab at all. I'm not sure what that was about. Gonna lead to a really bad miss, and we're starting to get pretty messed up by this guy, but backup comes and we're able to kill him, and now we got another wave coming right at the champion to get those cranks down. I ended up rejecting the hero. I don't really like to accept it. I think in a lobby like this, I should probably accept it, especially when I was on fire, just because it seems like everybody in here has gotten a chance to do it. It's not the same as a pub lobby when maybe you see a level 200, 300 get it. Now let's see if we can get this done, guys. It's really funny because this is the way people would go as Thorn back in the day when the game first came out, and it was very hard to win on this map. But now that the game's been out a little longer and they made him very easy to get to the end, everybody goes to the left, and I just find myself sometimes out of habit going to the right just from that first year, maybe less, the game was out. And I do find myself off the objective, and I do want to get on that as I obsessively check the scoreboard. It's never a good call to be that far away, but at least we're sending players back to the spawn wave without getting ourselves killed.
For the king, I am by you, brother.
I'm not really sure what's happening at this point. It's tough to see if there was his archers hitting him, but he's taken a lot of damage already, a lot of walking backwards as well, so I do kind of regret not taking it at this point. No disrespect, I know the VIP can be a lot of pressure, but I do think we would have been a little better off if I had accepted it, because it does seem as though the team is protecting him very well. And sure enough, as we're respawning, he's not going to make it. That'll be another loss in the books. We had a great game individually, though. I'd love to hear if you guys thought I played as well as it says there. And if you want to check out some related videos, I mentioned Lousy and Stepbo are training me. Check out the videos above. Love you guys.